Hi everyone, I trust you've all had a great weekend. It's a public holiday here in Perth, so we've had an extra day to revive and refresh ourselves. Now, today I'm going to talk to you about the area of wealth, which is broken down into career, finances, and contribution. This area, more than the others, I feel, is most closely tied together, and there's quite a lot of overlapping in them. So, we'll start with career. Your ability to make money is covered by this life area. Now, you might think of your job as just about contributing value to others, but you can do that through volunteer work, which we'll discuss on a later show. Your career success is determined by the reward you get for the value you provide. I'll say that again. Your career success is determined by the reward you get for the value you provide. Now, it's very important that you recognise the end result you expect out of your professional endeavours. Otherwise, you won't have food on the table or a way to pay the bills. Now, handling your finances is also tied to this life area because it determines how much money you end up having. So, examples of things that fall under this life area are business skills, marketing, customer service, professional skills, business projects, productivity, organisation, and professional competence. Most of us spend more time at work than in any other area of our life. So it stands to reason that if we're not doing something that we love, or at the very least something we like, then it's bound to spill over into all other areas of our lives. Now, I'm not saying that you need to go into your workplace tomorrow armed with your resignation letter and tell your boss exactly what you think of him or her in no uncertain terms. I am saying, though, that if your Monday-itis is spilling over into Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, that you might want to ask yourself a few questions and find out what it is that you really want. Is your job just a means to an end? Are the people around you draining you of your energy, of your juice? Does your job fall in line with your values? Now, there may be times in your career that you are just working to make ends meet, but that doesn't mean you need to go to work dragging your heels and hating every minute of it. Sometimes just a change in attitude can change the way you feel about your job. Think of 5 great things about your job right now. Does it afford you a roof over your head, food on the table? Is it close to home? Do you work with great people? Is it moving you towards a career that you really want? If you honestly can't find 5 things, then maybe it is time to reassess and move on to something else. Or is your career just perfect and everything you've ever wanted, but it's eating away into all other areas of your life so that they're suffering? We all need balance in our lives. With only your career, who will share your successes? Who will you connect with? So when I talk about this area of life, I'm talking about enhancing our careers, about improving the value we provide to others, about finding and living our true life purpose. Are you doing what you truly love? On to finances. Now, even though our careers fund our finances, it's not the only thing we need to consider, nor is it the only thing we need to be responsible with. Finances cover things like making sure we have the right insurances in place. Do you have a proactive savings plan? Do you have financial goals? Have you written down these financial goals? Do you have limiting beliefs around money? Have you multiple streams of income? So your salary, investment return, bank interest. Have you got a personal budget? Do you stick to your personal budget? Have you worked out how much you need to retire? This is really important. How much you want to retire on? The best thing to work out what you'll need to retire on is to do a budget. So take into account your living expenses now. And don't forget that you'll have a lot more time on your hands, so you may actually spend considerably more depending on the lifestyle you want. Do you want to travel? Take that into account too. Now, when you're doing your budget, don't forget there'll be savings as well. So transport to work, clothes for work, all those work-related expenses, obviously you'll be saving on. So once you've done all of that, you need to look at the average life expectancy and multiply the amount you need each year by the number of years you expect to live. Now, I know it sounds morbid, but it is a sensible approach to take so that you can take responsibility for yourself. So, for example, if you're a female planning on retiring at 65 and you've worked out you need $40,000 a year to live on comfortably, assuming you'll live to 85, you'll need around $800,000. Now, another way of doing this is to plan your retirement needs on what you earn now. A good rule of thumb is to plan on about 70% of what you earn now. Again, you would multiply this amount on the number of years you expect to live. So, now, have you got 2 to 3 months of day-to-day expenses in a savings account and basic insurance? Have you protected your finances with appropriate insurances, health insurance, income protection, asset protection, disability protection? These things need to be put into place to secure the income you already have. But what about your future earnings? What about your limiting beliefs about money? Do any of these sound familiar to you? Money doesn't grow on trees. There's never enough money. Money doesn't make you happy. Money is the root of all evil. If I'm rich, someone else will have to be poor. I'm not smart enough, young enough, old enough, experienced enough, insert your own personal favourite, to be rich. Doesn't matter how much you may consciously want to achieve wealth, you won't be able to do so unless you let go of the negative beliefs that are currently standing in your way. I suggest that if you wish to achieve greater financial abundance for yourself, take some time to seek out the source of your own resistance to achieving greater wealth. For example, does the idea of becoming rich seem in any way offensive or repulsive to you? Explore those beliefs, journal about them, take a conscious look at them, and decide if these are really the benefits you wish to hold. Are your financial beliefs aligned with serving your good as well as the highest good of all? You also need to remember that once you remove your limiting beliefs, that you will need to replace them with other new positive beliefs. Repeating affirmations is one way to do this. Become a collector of positive beliefs about money and about your ability to attract, create, multiply, and keep money. Some of these positive beliefs could be: money provides opportunities for growth. Wealthy people enjoy life. If I put my money to work for me, I will have more time with my family. I have the ability to acquire, protect, and multiply wealth. Now, just remember, affirmations alone won't change your financial situation. You need to do both. Look after and treat your money responsibly. Live within your means. Save. Insure yourself. And replace limiting beliefs with new supportive ones. So now we go on to contribution or legacy. Giving back to the community is so important. You may be asking yourself, why is giving important? If there's one thing you can do to attract more money into your life, it would be to give away some of it. To get, you've got to give. Have you ever heard the saying, what you give out, you get back tenfold or 10 times over? When you give money, you create a sense of having more than enough, and this belief in abundance attracts more wealth to you. You may know of someone wealthy who gives money regularly, as most wealthy people do. Get into the habit of giving on a regular basis. Make it a part of your budget. You may like to give to a charity, such as sponsoring a puppy or a child from a third world country. You might like to donate to your church, or give money to a family member or a friend in need. A part of giving is to feel good about what you've done, and that's very rewarding. Think of examples of role models giving back to the world. People such as Angelina Jolie and Oprah Winfrey are two high-profile women which instantly come to mind. What you want to remember too is it's never just about making lots of money, but rather it's about the difference you can make with the money you've made. So that's it for this week's show. Don't forget to come back for Wednesday's show with Serena Starr-Leonard, the author of How to Retire in 12 Months, Turning Passion into Profit. Bubbles of love from me to you. Bye.